I'm Joey Sturgis, and we're here at the Foundation Estate in Manchester, Michigan, and this is where I record music. That's really how it all began, and I found myself at a show one night, and The Devil Wears Prada was playing, and I was just really impressed with their set. I decided to talk to them and say, hey, I really like what you guys are doing. I think it would be really cool if you could come record with me. And they were totally against it. They were totally against the idea at first because they wanted to do everything themselves. So I kept talking to them for several months afterwards, and I finally convinced them to come down and record some songs with me. And then that recording that we made is what got them signed. Joey Sturgis Tones just started out as almost like a dare. My friends were kind of telling me, you should start making plugins, and I thought, well, I probably never could. It started out as a bet. I bet you can't do this. When I started out with Joey Sturgis Tones, I wrote the code, but I was only capable of writing code for Windows. But once I got my product far enough along, the first one, which is named Gain Reduction, as soon as that product was far enough along that it could be potentially a product for other platforms, that's when I involved another programmer to help me do that. Gain Reduction is my version of a vocal compressor, and it's a combination of lots of experimentation. So once I had emulated what I was using before and I got close enough to where it sounded pretty much the same, I was able to go in there and tweak things and make it actually more of what I wanted, something that I couldn't do with the plugins beforehand. So being able to play around in that math space and that with the algorithms and kind of tune those things is what really got it to where it is now. ToneForge is a product that I'm currently developing, which is sort of my answer to the amp simulator. The thing that makes ToneForge different than anything else out there is that we've structured it so that you get to buy a guitar rig, one that's complete from start to finish. Typically with other amp simulators, it's just the amp, or it's just the amp in the cab, or this and that. What we've done is we've gone from A to Z. You get a pedal, you get an amp, you get different cabinet options, you get different mixing solutions, and you also get some of my magic sauce on there, which is kind of how I make guitars sound, and you can turn it on and off. So it's really a way to go from plugging your guitar into your computer to final mix guitar sound without any other plugins being necessary. One of the benefits that I have as being a producer and a plugin designer is that while I'm in the studio working on records, I can see these problems firsthand and try out solutions, and when they don't work, I know exactly how to kind of tweak it so that it will solve those problems. I was playing around with gain reduction on albums, a long time ago, and when I got to a point where I was like, hey, this is actually sounding really good, it's working, then I try it on the next album, and then I find some gaps, some holes that I need to fill. And one of the greatest things about doing this is I get to work with a lot of different people, so I do get to hear what it sounds like on a lot of different sources. I think the typical plugin designer probably has his set of audio that he gets to test stuff on, and he never really has time to record new. So just constantly being up to date and working with fresh material kind of allows me to take advantage of that. I'm unique in that I am a jack of all trades. I know how to program, I know how to do web development, I can do some graphics myself. In fact, the first version of Gain Reduction's user interface was made by me in Photoshop. So it's just really all of us kind of pitching in and doing different tasks, but I kind of do a little bit of everything. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's the kind of guy I am. If you look at my discography, almost every record I work on, I'm doing more than just one task. I'm mixing, producing, mastering, engineering, programming, writing, all those. The plan for the future, all across the board, is going to be artist collaboration. We really want to make products with artists, specific artists in mind, to kind of fill those roles. I feel like there's kind of you see guitar players coming out with their own custom guitars. You got drummers who design their own drum sets. But what about designing their own software that gets their sound? What about designing an amp simulator that provides the tone for the next Asking Alexandria record? Those are the kind of things we're going to explore. Drumforge in particular will be working with producers, notable artists, and just providing drum samples that you would not be able to get any other way. Flexible drum samples as well. And then for Toneforge, we want to get into making custom amps for specific artists and sharing those with the world. I want to make it easier to make music. I've been in that space where you've got that creative idea in your head and you're in the right moment, and then something breaks and just completely ruins it all. So the better we get at making the software more stable, making it sound better faster, providing more solutions to more problems, the better or the easier it's going to be to create better music.